The story of Beyond the Dog started because we never dreamt of doing anything other than working with animals. In fact, Sean and I met because we were both training dolphins at the same dolphin facility. We had worked with exotic animals in the past, but we just never felt that same connection that we felt with domestic animals, and mainly dogs and cats. We both felt that working with them was a calling that we just couldn't ignore. So after several years of experience and a big leap of faith, we moved to Kansas City in 2005 to start Beyond the Dog. We spent those first few years pouring our blood, sweat, and tears literally into making a name for Beyond the Dog. Just like so many business owners, we sacrificed so much and missed out on so many fun things that typical 20-year-olds get to experience. Instead, when we first met, we lived in my sister's unfinished basement. As you can imagine, the options were pretty limited. We needed somewhere that was both dog and budget friendly. Our first two homes were purchased largely because they could be outfitted for training dogs. In those early days, we poured every single dollar back into the business, focusing on creating a home environment conducive for housing and training dogs. In hindsight, the failed retaining wall and privacy fence during a December snowstorm are just two of the many obstacles we encountered along the way. We are thankful for the family that allowed us to show up for Thanksgiving, Christmas, and nearly every other holiday for the next several years with a CRV and a two-seater car, both filled to the brim with dogs. Those clients that came to us that first year supported us in so many ways, and many still do today. Their dogs became ours as we saw them as puppies, into adolescence, adulthood, and finally crossing the Rainbow Bridge. Those early clients trusted us to care for and train their dogs, welcoming us into their homes and allowing us to work with their pets and families, often for a month at a time. We didn't know it then, but it was the start of something really incredible, and we are eternally grateful for their support. Fast forward 7 years, through another move, a wedding, one small human followed by a second, and a doctoral degree. Although we were madly passionate about what we were doing, we knew something had to give. We loved the work in our clients so much, but we couldn't possibly keep up that pace. Although we were and are primarily animal people, we managed to pick up some knowledge about human behavior along the way, which led us to the realization that the best way to grow would be to hire and train new trainers. Just like any new endeavor, it wasn't perfectly smooth sailing, and there were a lot of kinks to work out. We were so fortunate to draw on the experience and wisdom of so many of those original clients, who happened to be business owners themselves. They provided us with invaluable advice as we switched gears, buckled down, and got to work growing from a company that was just Sean and I to a company with now over 25 employees. Throughout the past few years, we have brought on some of the most valuable support staff that any business has seen. We've also added trainers who are not only proving themselves to clients, but proving just how incredibly valuable they are to our organization. They have developed, just as Sean and I did, into extraordinary trainers, mentors for other trainers, and even some business partners. With their support, we expanded to Houston, Texas in 2017, Austin, Texas in 2020, and St. Louis, Missouri in 2021. We are proud of our growth in those 4 major markets and have plans for 3 more locations over the next year or so. But what's even more exciting than that expansion is the ability to offer someone just like Sean and I were nearly 20 years ago the opportunity to fulfill their life's professional dreams. We feel so fortunate to have had Beyond the Dog develop into the organization that it is today. It's been such a ride and really an incredible dream come true.